we solve question 5. So in this case, the question is asking for the equivalent resistance in ohms across A and B. So you look at the diagram, A is actually here and B is actually here. So it's actually talking about finding the total resistance across A all the way to B. So how do we find this thing called resistance? So can we divide this A and B into two portions? So we can divide this portion, use a red pen to indicate this as my portion 1, okay, and this portion, which is in green, I put this as my portion 2. So why do we do this? Because if I redraw this diagram, okay, my portion 1 will be in red, which is a representative of the equivalent resistance here, and my portion 2 resistance is actually an extension. And if I can find the resistance, if I label this as R1, okay, and if I label this as R2, when these two resistance add together, okay, it will give me my equivalent resistance, which is my R. So my R total is actually equal to R1 plus R2. Okay, so that's my objective. So how do we start solving R1? So R1 is actually two resistors in parallel. So you apply the formula for resistors in parallel for part 1. Okay, what we can do is resistance in part 1, it can be my 1 over R1 is actually equal to 1 over 10 plus 1 over 10 kilo. 10 kilo, you must be very careful. 10 kilo actually stands for 10,000. Okay, so please be very careful with this step. Okay, and now my R1 is actually just if we do simple maths, it's actually just 1 over 10 plus 1 over 10,000. Okay, the whole thing, because it's actually division, so I just take power minus 1. Okay, so I wouldn't have to work out here, later I can work out. So how do we work out R2? So in this case, R2 is still the same. Okay, so this is part 1, area 1 is area 2. So it's just taking 1 over R2 is equal to 1 over 10, because you'll get this. And this part we must be very careful. 10 ohm is actually in series with 10 kilo. So in this case, I'll just take 1 over open bracket. It's actually addition because it's in series. So I'll just take 10 plus 10,000. Okay, and I close the bracket. So this is actually my R1. But as we can see from part 1, we cannot stop here. We have to find R2. So R2 is actually equal to this, the whole thing on the right. Okay, and it's actually power minus 1. So let us move on to find the total. So we press our calculator, we'll realize that the answer, when we add these two answers together, we will get the answer as follows. Okay, so the answer will be